the idea came along a few years ago to create a cold weather shelter system right here in Greenville, and it has spread throughout the upstate. And we're super pleased to have Miracle Hill Ministries, Salvation Army, the Way Outreach Center to be a part of the cold weather shelter system. The cold weather shelter system essentially happens when it's predicted that the weather will be at 40 degrees or below that night. Then the overflow areas of the shelter will be open. And so most of the shelters in our community are already full with their normal beds being used, but the cold weather shelter, they open up their overflow areas. So people are coming in and sleeping on a mat. And we chose the white flag as a symbol of mercy because we want to show mercy to those who are most vulnerable in our community.
I guess my story starts down on that gym floor, because in 2000 I laid on that floor, a homeless person, and didn't really have no future hope. At the time, one of our counselors here, Tom Campbell, had an office down there, and I talked with Mr. Campbell, and he directed me to lead the overflow shelter that evening and come around to the Hudson Street entrance here and sign up to come in the rescue mission. I'm kind of partial to our overflow shelter for the simple fact, at one time, that's where my foundation started to get me into the rescue mission and to get me back on the right path. And nowadays, this is my foundation now, and it's all because of Miracle Hill and Greenville Rescue Mission and my Father above.
The Greenville Police Department comes into the Ending Chronic Homelessness Task Force, I believe, from the onset in the beginning. When Chief Wilfong took over the department, she joined this task force. And in speaking with cold weather, she remembered in Louisville, Kentucky, where she is from, they had a similar system there in Kentucky with the white flag. And how this is going to work for us at the department is obviously we are out 24 hours. We see people on the street who's out and about. And when the media is notified and when the rescue missions are notified, they will call the police department and let us know that if we see anyone or if anyone contacts us, that we can take them to the shelter, or if anyone that's living on the streets comes up to a police officer, they'll know what to do. So when the white flag is fully staffed at the degrees of 40 below or potential degrees below 40, we will be aware, and this goes out for the whole county. We definitely see a need for it. We respond to, unfortunately, some situations where people are stuck out in the weather and do not make it or become very ill. So we're proud to be a part of this program and know that it will be a great thing.
I think we should note that today does not mark the beginning of the compassion to keep people out of the elements, but it just marks a new partnership in which we communicate more effectively that this remedy is there. For many years, we promised the community that when the temperature's below 40 degrees, no one will be turned away. And it's challenging. We have 600 beds in our regular shelters throughout the upstate, and we have men and women and children in those beds on every night. But normally we quit taking people in when those beds are filled. With the 40-degree mark, we essentially make this pledge that when the temperature at noon is forecast to be below 40 degrees, we will have this flag flying by 5 o'clock, and it will fly all night long to let anyone in the community know, including the law enforcement and other friends throughout the community, that they can bring someone here and they will not be turned away. I remember when we didn't have that system, and I remember the pain of fearing that somebody would freeze to death because we had excluded them. And I can promise you this way is so much better. Our motto is, if you can't find a friend in the world, you can find one here. And we want that to be true summer and winter.
With the raising of the white flag, we are striving to protect the upstate's most vulnerable citizens.